Kamaru Usman has been one of the top MMA fighters all this time, and he did earn the title by working hard and proving his talent in the ring. So how did the Nigerian nightmare become real? Let's talk about his biggest UFC wins that shocked the MMA world. Kamaru Usman vs. Leon Edwards, UFC Orlando, December 19, 2015. Leon Edwards of England couldn't keep up with Kamaru Usman, grappling in their welterweight fight at Amway Center in Orlando. The Nigerian Nightmare won a unanimous decision after 3 rounds. There were 3 30-27s and 1 29-28. Edwards had a strong round, even though he spent some time on his back. He fought off all but one of Usman's attempts to take him down, and showed great stand-up skills. Even when he was on his back, the Brit stayed busy with an attempt at a triangle choke and some elbows. Usman started round 2 with a hard punch that led to a second takedown. This time, the former Ultimate Fighter had control of the grappling on the mat and when the two fighters were standing together against the fence. Edwards landed a lot of punches while standing, but Usman added to his score with a late takedown. In the 3rd round, Usman's wrestling opened up the fight against a tired Edwards. And his powerful attack from the ground was just what the Floridian needed to win the round and the fight. Kamaru Usman vs. Sergio Moraes, UFC Pittsburgh, September 17, 2017. Kamaru Usman, a rising star at welterweight, got the most impressive win of his UFC career when he knocked out Sergio Moraes in the 1st round. This made his winning streak reach 10 fights. Usman wanted to make a statement about the Brazilian, so he went right after him and didn't try for one of his signature takedowns. He followed up a strong leg kick with a right hand that knocked out Moraes in the 1st minute. That was the beginning of the end for the Panther, who got back up but was finished with another right hand at 2:48 of the 1st round that sent him face first to the mat. Kamaru Usman vs. Demian Maia, UFC Chile, May 19, 2018. Kamaru Usman didn't make the big statement he wanted to make against Demian Maia in the first event of UFC Fight Night, but the Nigerian Nightmare did get the big win he needed over a top 5 contender when he beat the former world title challenger by unanimous decision at Movistar Arena in Santiago, Chile. For a long time, everyone has been talking about how I haven't fought a top 10 guy, Usman said after the fight. He also said that during the 5-round fight he broke both of his hands. He's a legend and has been in the running for the title twice, but I beat him from start to finish. Usman improved to 13-1 with the final scores of 50-45 and 49-46 on 2 occasions. The number 5 fighter Maia has a record of 25-9 after he filled in for an injured Santiago Ponzinibbio. In the 2nd minute of the fight, Maia got the first takedown, but Usman got up right away. Maia was still tied to the fence, but with less than 90 seconds left, referee Leon Roberts started the delayed action over again. Maia landed the round's biggest blow, a strong left hand that caught Usman's attention. The two fighters stayed on their feet until the bell rang. In round 2, Usman made sure to land some strikes in between Maia's first 3 attempts to take him down. And even though Maia jumped guard, it was in the last 20 seconds, so he didn't have much time to do the takedown. Maia's takedowns fell short again in the 3rd round, and Usman, while not exceptional, was growing more confident as the fight progressed. He added another round to his tally. Early in round 4, Usman's right hand knocked Maia to the ground, and soon after, Maia was also cut over his left eye. When they stood up, Maia tried to take Usman down, but Usman fought back with quick punches. In the 5th round, Usman won again because Maia didn't have much to say to the rising star. Kamaru Usman vs. Rafael dos Anjos, TUF 28 finale, November 30, 2018. At the Pearl at the Palms in Las Vegas, welterweight challenger Kamaru Usman sent a message to the rest of his division by beating former world champion Rafael dos Anjos with a unanimous decision after 5 rounds. This was his 13th win in a row. 50-43, 49-45, and 48-47 were the final scores. Usman took dos Anjos to the ground for the first time in the 2nd minute of the fight, but dos Anjos quickly got up. Usman held him against the fence for a while before the Brazilian got away. Usman did well up close, but it was clear that he wanted to fight on the mat. so he kept trying to get there. He got what he wanted with less than a minute left, and he stayed busy from the top spot until the horn, but not before RDA gave him a vicious upkick. Usman kept Dos Anjos on the ground for most of the second round, but the Brazilian kept moving and almost locked up his opponent's arm, forcing Usman to jump up to get away. Usman quickly went back to the pocket and landed some hard blows before getting back in the clinch. But as the round came to an end, Dos Anjos hit Usman with a series of hard blows that put him on the defensive. In round 3, Usman took control of the fight again. The bloodied Dos Anjos was still dangerous with his strikes and attempts to submit Usman, but he was running out of time to turn the fight around. In round 4, Usman stepped on the gas and added to his lead with an even more punishing attack. In the 5th and last round, Usman did more of the same. Dos Anjos briefly tried a guillotine choke, but he couldn't finish it. After he got away, the Nigerian Nightmare kept throwing ground attacks at the brave Brazilian, hoping to finish him off. And even though Usman didn't win, it's hard not to be impressed by the win he gave. Kamaru Usman vs. Tyron Woodley, UFC 235, March 2, 2019. Underdog challenger Kamaru Usman beat Tyron Woodley with a masterful performance at UFC 235's co-main event. After 5 rounds at the T-Mobile Arena, the Nigerian fighter went from being a challenger to a champion with a unanimous shutout decision. He became the first African-born fighter to wear UFC gold. Usman is 15-1 right now. He has won 50-44 and 50-45. Woodley lost the title that he won from Robbie Lawler in 2016. He now has a record of 19-4-1. Usman said, "I may not be the best striker or pure wrestler, but I am the best welterweight in the world right now, because I am good at everything." Are there any other points of view? Usman started the fight by going for a single-leg takedown, which he got despite Woodley's brief attempt at a guillotine choke. This set the tone for the rest of the fight. The champion got up quickly, and for a while, he and Woodley were locked together. Finally, Woodley broke free. Usman immediately went for a takedown again, and while Woodley stood up, Usman landed great strikes to Woodley's body while he was in the clutch. Referee Mark Goddard restarted the fight with a minute left, which gave Usman another chance to land some great close-range shots. He did so again before the round ended. Usman's fast start continued to the second round, with a hard elbow followed by a huge takedown. He then went right back into the clinch. Usman jumped on his bleeding opponent and put him in a position where he could hit him and put pressure on him to stop breathing. In the last minute, Usman briefly tried an arm triangle before ending the round on more ground attacks. In the third round, Woodley tried to get off to a fast start, but Usman dodged his shots and pushed the champion into the fence, hitting him in the body as he went. Goddard restarted the fight twice more, but Woodley still had trouble staying away from the barrier, so the challenger got an extra round. In the first minute of round 4, Woodley tried a guillotine choke and pulled guard, but Usman quickly got out of it and took the top position. After another strange restart by Goddard, Usman added knees to the clinch. Once the clinch broke, Usman started hitting Woodley with hard blows. Woodley was shaken but still standing when the horn went off. Woodley tried to use the guillotine choke again to start round 5, but Usman kept his cool and put the Missouri native on the floor. Usman attacked from the top spot, and Woodley didn't know what to do. In the last 24 hours, or right now. Because of this, the welterweight champion has changed. Thank you so much for watching this video. Stay tuned for more interesting information.